Well, we have this Sesh, Saiee and Sobhita, all of them, they are having S in their names and their film Major is coming up. Tremendous buzz for it. Pleasure having you guys with us on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
So Sesh, you know, बहुत बार हम लोग फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में हम लोग सुनते हैं कि कोई बादशाह है, कोई सुल्तान है और कोई टाइगर है. ये पहली बार इस तरीके से हो रहा है कि that you know someone is saying कि I'm a goldfish. I'm goldfish. This is new.
But its reasoning behind it is really sweet.
Yeah, it was impromptu.
Right.
So I think other people from BH were there that day.
Right.
A journalist had asked, you've got these big films releasing and you know, Akshay sir's Prithviraj in Hindi and Kamal sir's Vikram in Tamil.
Right.
What's the deal? And I was like, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I've grown up on their films, you know. Sadma, Vasanta Kokila and Telugus, all-time top 5 for me. I've danced on Tu Cheez Badiya Mast Mast in school.
Right.
So it's not a discussion ki like, you know, you're competing or something like that. I think that is a very media headline. I think the deal was, they were saying they're the big fish. A lot of people were saying to us that they're the big fish, they're the big fish. I said, theek hai, to hum goldfish hain.
Acha.
So, you know, like we have our own shine, apna chamak, that's all. It's a very, it's from a place of emotion, not from a place of thought or calculation or analysis.
Right. So, Sobhita, how do you look at yourself? Like goldfish, fish with fins, without fins?
Shark.
I thought you said mermaid, yeah, what the hell? He's saying shark.
So, आप कैसे देखते हैं अपने आप को?
I want to be the mermaid.
She wants to be a mermaid.
Okay, and Saiee, what about you?
I'm Dory, I forget. Just keep swimming,
But looking forward, I think it's you've patiently waited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think the most patience this one has had.
Right.
But for me, I think the whole process was so fun and such a nice experience because I spent most of my growing years shooting Major, I think, like 18 to 20.
Growing years?
Yeah, like that's when you like find who you truly are or whatever. So I think I did most of that shooting Major, and it was really inspiring because I was doing that, acting in a person's life who was so inspiring. So I think it was a great learning experience for me.
Right. And how was your experience working with these two ladies?
You know, it's very different. Because Shobhi and I are friends from Gudachari. We'd done a super hit film together a few years ago. So it was
2018, I believe.
Yes,
yeah,
18, yeah.
It's my first only other Telugu film.
Yeah, so it's like she's a Telugu girl, but you know she hasn't done Telugu cinema. So it was so nice to have her in Gudachari, and so it's almost like homecoming here. And this was another thing like where I ended up getting connected to the entire family, to Medaji, to Sai's friends. You know, they'd play pranks on me. They've done jokes on me that made me go, "Whoa, what's happening?" You know.
Right.
So I just think it's a very different vibe. You know, I feel like I'm a part of their family, and I feel like we've been family. So so it's that kind of a space. And now that Major is finally here, Hyderabad se to triple R, it's gone huge. So ab triple S ki bari hai.
Triple S ki bari hai.
God, that really like planet.
So I think
he said triple R.
Do you?
No, he said SSS. That's
SSS. Yeah. So do you have interest in advertising as well, by any chance?
I mean, not really.
I think
you want me to
is a whole movie.
Yeah,
like,
because I think you can, because that goldfish thing, now this triple S thing.
Yeah.
So.
He's flowing.
Yeah,
he can just make a movie on his own, by himself, and then like advertise it himself, and it'll still be.
You know what it is? I'm not sure people are used to people who are not curated, and I can say this without a hint of pessimism, especially in Hindi cinema. There's so much. In recent years, there's been so much that's said कि ऐसे नहीं बोलना चाहिए, ये होता है, वो होता है, you know, public का एक anger about something. Maybe I'm too naive, but I believe that जो दिल में बोल दो यार, you know. At the same time, try not to be harsh or vicious with anyone. So if you got anything you think is good to say in your heart, don't filter it.
Right.
I want to add something like, so because you were talking about Gudachari, so during the making of that film, I saw him obsess about a particular person, and which is
Like
Major
a woman
Sandeep,
Like a woman or something?
No.
Oh my God. No.
About Major Sandeep.
Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan.
Okay. Yeah, please specify it.
And I mean, at that point, I mean, even he was like, you know, I'm doing this film. I'm so excited. I want to tell his story, his life as a story, because cinema is the most like popular medium, and I would love for people to know about him. And so I was like, yeah, good. Like, you know, best of luck. I had no idea at that point that I would get the chance to be a part of this world. So I feel like, in a way, I have been the first audience to this story, you know, through the course of its making. So there's a certain almost affection with the way, like in the way we tell the story of this man, because I feel like inherently the cast and crew of this film, we're all fans of Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan. So there's a certain love there, wherein I think the storytelling has come from a place of his life is so amazing, he's so cool, he's just like, people should know about him.
Right.
So
Because so many people only know about the attacks. They only know about the hundreds of people he saved. But वो ये नहीं जानते कि उससे पहले 31 years, how beautiful a life he led, that caused him to take those decisions in those 36 hours. So this film is a real look at that.
Right. Okay, and you know, you mentioned about the fact that जो भी दिल में आए वो कह दो. So you recently, I think, also had this entire discussion about fans calling you thrilling star, and you said that you're not very cool with this idea, because I think South में तो ये बहुत एक, I think, common everyone title बड़ा crucial होता है.
No, they called him torture star.
She's just like,
Hey, that's true, you can Google it. Because he tortures his team.
Why does he torture?
no, that's actually
Perfection or
on
something?
the
Yeah.
audio launch. क्या हुआ था? My producer, he'd seen how hard we'd worked, and he'd never seen anything like it, because we really put blood, sweat, and tears into that film and this.
It was
film.
made like an indie, Gudachari, so when it did really well, we were all very encouraged, but the putting together of a film like that, there was such a large, vast dream and so little resources, but like there was no compromise made, and for that, you know, like full credit to Sesh.
It can be torturous if you don't have the resources, you know. So this time for Major, we got a very big canvas. Mahesh sir produced the film. Sony, Namrata Garu and Mahesh sir brought on Sony, and Sony really took it international. So I think we just got this very wide canvas to be able to tell this 120 days, build 8 sets for the film, shoot it in 75 different locations, Kashmir, Bangalore, Bombay, Hyderabad, you name it, we did.
And you know, it's South generally people, they tend to have this very economical or very sparse sort of outlook towards promotions. बहुत ही कम करते हैं, लेकिन I think करते हैं वो वजन होता है. जैसे अभी आपने goldfish बोला, महेश said कि that it's very difficult to afford me. So वो I think it's everywhere, you know. एक sentence बोला उन्होंने, and it's like everywhere. बड़ा उसमें उनके हाथ में माइक था, मैं देख रहा था, उसमें लिखा हुआ 3 languages, मलयालम, हिंदी and तेलुगु. 3rd June. अब वो हर किसी ने वो देखा. So बेहतरीन promotion है.
Yeah, it's not intended in that way.
That is I can vouch for. I think all the South stars, they are extremely reserved and they're very genuine. I think it's a different category altogether, the way they conduct themselves. It's truly remarkable.
In fact, before this interview, we were having this discussion कि ये लोग, मतलब ये दोनों इतने fancy लग रहे हैं इस interview में, and I've just sort of
I noticed that. Which is great.
Yeah, so
You just want to people give them तारीफ.
But you know, I think actresses, उनको तो बनता है.
बनता है.
They
And I'm happy to.
It's expected also. It's not even like banta hai.
I'm happy to behold the beauty. Is my point.
The weight of this, you know, this burden of beauty that he's carrying.
Right. Okay. And how is you know, when we're talking Mahesh, so we are forgetting the fact that there is Mahesh Manjrekar sir as well. How did he react to?
He saw it last night.
I believe he saw it last night.
What he did, and my dad genuinely, honestly, doesn't say things about movies. Like, if he's watched a movie, he doesn't say anything, which is assume he didn't like it. When he generally likes the movie, he'll say everything good about it to everybody. And he came out of the theatre, and he's seen me act a lot in school, in plays, a bunch. And he's always given me like a lot of rubbish. Like, you did this wrong, you've done that wrong. And he's like, I'm not saying this just because you're in it, but he genuinely enjoyed the movie. And he called Sesh up. He took the phone to me when I called him to tell him how it was, and spoke to him.
After he said these amazing compliments, you have to understand, I grew up on Sir's films. And we have this great Vastav film connection with Major because Namrata Garu is the producer on the film.
She was there.
And Mahesh Babu sir is the director of that film and Sai's dad. I told him, I ended up saying, you're my favorite Mahesh sir in North India.
And South India, it's obviously Mahesh Babu.
So, you know, we are so blessed in terms of how people are loving the film. We've shown it to about 1,700 people already. In Telugu cinema, print is not ready until the last moment. Right. So you never get the chance to show it to anyone. There's no chance to reflect. And Hindi, I've often heard that there's so much worry कि यार कहीं ऐसा ना हो जाए कि film के बारे में कुछ गलत बोल दें. So they never show the film before the Friday morning. There's this worry. And this love that we've gotten, and it's entirely based on how people have reacted. It's not an inbuilt self-confidence. It is confidence that I'm seeing increase every day. It enabled us to come up with this idea. We said, screw it. Let's screen the film across India, exclusive previews. So we announced it this morning. 9 different cities, 9 different screenings, 10 days, all of it before the official release on June 3rd.
That is fascinating. That is fascinating. All right, and so abhi is interview se pehle I was just hearing about the South India, North India and Bollywood, and so you know, I genuinely feel that you guys, maybe the teams may have given you certain answers कि अभी ये सवाल तो पूछा जाएगा ही आपसे, तो आपको ये जवाब देना है. ज़्यादा मेहनत नहीं करना.
Actually, no, we haven't been. No.
I mean, the
because
South
this is, I think, the flavor of the season these days.
It is, na? Like this discussion has been happening even online, like.
Yeah, it's something which is like very frequent.
See, what Bhangra is to Punjabis, film is for Telugus.
Of course.
And I'm not saying that as a tagline. We have the highest theatre occupancy in the country.
Yeah, I totally understand.
And there is more number of theatres in the Telugu states than any other place in India. So I'm saying this based on fact. So we come from a culture where Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 films you have to watch in theatre. So and it's a testimony that passion is being reflected today in what we're doing for Major. We never thought of this as a South Indian film or a North Indian film because Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan is an all-Indian man. You know, the man born in Kerala, grew up in Bangalore, training officer in Haryana. वो कारगिल में थे. In fact, he was also in Mission Vijay. That Captain Batra was also. Wow. वो हरियाणा में training officer थे. He was in the National Security Guard. He was in the 7 Bihar Regiment. And then he did his heroics in Mumbai.
Right.
So, I didn't understand what about this is South Indian or North Indian. How can Major Sandeep's life be brought under that umbrella ki South movie or North movie? So, we ended up deciding to shoot it word for word, scene for scene, dialogue for dialogue, properly as a Hindi film and properly as a Telugu film.
So, you know, we're talking about South India and Bollywood. We're also having a Hollywood star amongst us.
We are. Well, I guess it's out. The news out. She's doing a film with Dev Patel.
Like, no, I'm just so happy, man. You know, like as an extension to the same, like the South and North movies discussion. You know, my mother tongue is Telugu, but my beginnings in like films it's happened through Hindi cinema, and it felt absolutely normal to me. Like when we say cheer for our cricket team, we cheer as Indians. So it feels very natural to me for different states and cultures to mingle. So in cinema, when which is the most popular medium, when somebody sitting in a Kanpur or a say Noida is watching a super deluxe from say Tamil Nadu,
right.
For them to get a little sense of that culture, and because South mein to Hindi films dekhte hi hain. So I feel like when the other way is also happening, I feel like that sort of mixing and mingling is so healthy because I feel like it's such a diverse nation. So I think it's beautiful. I'm for it. I'm greatly excited.
Because all our actresses have always been a success here. You know, Sridevi ji, Rekha ji, Hema Malini, Jay Prada, Aishwarya Rai, Deepika Padukone, so many people. And you know, so we're just...
And as I've done like my first Hollywood project, and when I acted in it in English, I realized that actually this is not really like a culturally Indian language as we know it, but and then I realized that like emotions are universal. So where does the boundary really begin and where does it end? It's porous, you know.
No,
so
definitely.
I think cinema is a great opportunity for us to sort of acknowledge human spirit.
And personally, I'm looking forward to Made in Heaven season 2. I think you were outstanding in that.
Thank you.
Okay, you know, so I was, the other interview was going on and I was just there in the backdrop and I was just hearing. So you were mentioning about the fact that cricket mein jo hai, koi ye to nahi hota South India hai ya phir. But cricket is technique. So, you know, she talked about the diversity factor. I think, you know, that mutual respect element is very important for respecting other languages. At times, वो थोड़ा सा missing होता है, which is, I think, maybe.
I agree.
Like how in movies, जैसे ना लो आ गया मद्रासी.
Like there's something. I mean,
mutual respect is important. I think it's a beautiful country with such amazing diversity.
I don't mind admitting something that happened actually.
Please go ahead. Don't hold yourself back.
It was shortly after my film Kshanam had released. It was a blockbuster in Telugu, remade in Hindi as Bagi 2.
Ji.
That's how I know Sajid sir. I'd come to Mumbai on some meeting and I'd met with a casting director here. And you know, I'd said, you know, I've been doing Indian films, so you know, how does it work here? You know, and she said, नहीं, Bollywood अलग है. Bollywood में ये सब कुछ नहीं चलता. And I said, मतलब? And then she points to a stack of DVDs behind. I said, see, that's a South Indian actor, that's a Bengali actor. ये सब ऐसी हैं, अभी तक देखा नहीं मैंने. And I realized that that sense of respect needs to extend both ways.
Yeah.
To extend to people who come from Kanpur, people who come from Vizag, people who come from Coimbatore, people who come from Delhi, people who come from Jammu. That sense of respect cannot be limited by Juhu and Bhangra. That sense of respect cannot be limited by who you know. It has to come from a respect for the art. And I remember after that experience, she suddenly snapped her fingers and 7 guys in suits just ठाक करके they rolled in like an assembly line. मैं हैरान हो गया, मैंने कहा क्या हो रहा है? She's like dialogue bolo, and they all were saying the same exact dialogue. Dialogue bolo, and 7 guys said the same dialogue. ठाक. She's like आप छे हट जाओ, आप दूसरा screen test दो, जाओ. And I was like, what is going on?
It's a factory.
Yeah, it was a factory. It was an assembly line. ये सच में हुआ है ना, leading office. ऐसा नहीं था कि ये
in Bombay.
In Bombay.
Yeah, you know, that is something which is, I think, one needs to acknowledge the fact that the level of respect that is there for art down south, I think it's truly commendable. It's आपको अगर मतलब South Indian, आपको अगर classical language, classical आपको music आती है, you're actually respected in say Tamil Nadu. That's a lot of respect that people tend to get, which is something that it's truly commendable.
You know, I think there's amazing talent everywhere in India, and we're so thankful that somebody from a Marathi background and a Telugu background, you know, is getting to make a film about a Malayalam speaking man who changed India's history.
So there's such natural mingling that happens that I feel like maybe we don't get a chance to see that represented in cinema. Maybe now that's happening. Correct. So somebody in a very obvious Hindi belt is consuming cinema from Kerala or Karnataka.
हाँ यार, हमारे फिल्म से कब से मतलब top 10 तो मैं तो है ही मतलब.
You know, so Mr. Rajamouli told me one thing, very interesting thing, that all these हम आपके कौन and मैंने प्यार किया, they are huge hits in Telugu.
Premalayam.
They're like
Prem
huge
Pavaralu,
hits.
Premalayam.
Yeah. So it's like both ways. Yeah.
I saw them in Telugu.
So it is like both ways. Okay, so we'll end this interview with a rapid fire with both of you. We'll discover the film as well. There's something that you guys can win as well. It's a very fine.
If one of y'all win, can I just take it?
It's
so
very fine speaker.
Let me take it.
You know what?
It's a very fine speaker.
A long while ago, I played a rapid fire and I still have that speaker with me. It's very nice.
Okay, we'll start with Major.
Please.
The ladies allow. So, rapid fire with Sesh. What was the toughest thing about preparing to play this character?
To make sure I did it in a way that Uncle and Amma would be happy.
Amazing. Okay, a habit of any soldier you think every person who aspires to do something big in life should have?
Waking up early, for sure. Someone needs to.
What do you think is that one common personality trait between late Sandeep and you?
It's a rapid fire.
You know.
No, rapid fire with the perspective. That we're fine with that. There's no.
He's so much more, but our love for India, I think.
Great. All right.
But he's so much more than me, for sure.
All right. What is your definition of patriotism?
ये नहीं कि हम ये सोच रहे हैं हमारा देश is better than other countries. ये है कि हम अपने देश के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं.
Wow. Wow. All right. Okay. What quality of Saiee you think makes her perfect wife material?
Perfect wife material.
Too young to be
Let's ask Saiee's boyfriend. No.
I don't have a boyfriend. I'm very single.
Yeah, she's single.
I'm single. How do you do that? Even Sesh is single.
No, honestly, I think she's never presumptuous. The kinds of people that she knows, that she hangs around with, she's never presumptuous. She never thinks she knows more than others. And I think it's so beautiful that she's willing to be a blank canvas.
How does that make me wife material?
Yeah,
that's his priority.
Oh, you cook like this.
It makes you a good companion.
That's his priority.
Or go act like this and go kill it.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think is the best way for citizens to show their gratitude towards all the soldiers?
Help your fellow man.
Wow. Help your fellow man.
Or woman. I just mean mankind.
Of course. Of course. Like we have to be very specific these days. One thing you love and one thing you hate about the current situation in our country.
It's too divisive. Too divisive. People, everyone has an opinion that they feel they need to scream from the top of their terrace, except they're doing it on Twitter. I think that's what I don't like. And what I do love is that despite all that, these beautiful glimmers of hope keep happening. Like the star bowler for Sunrisers Hyderabad, I'm a big Hyderabad fan, is not from there. He's from Kashmir. Stuff like that. I think that's beautiful.
What is your all-time favorite war drama?
Saving Private Ryan. Anyone who says otherwise should be arrested.
Really? Mine's Border.
Border?
I love
Border. Oh,
okay, fine. They shouldn't be arrested, but we can differ.
How do you react when you see South versus Bollywood debates on social media?
It's media created.
What
Faridoon, did you create it?
My interviews are very popular in South.
They are. I watch all of them.
Yeah, Junior NTR, he did only one interview post RRR and he did with me. And this is like I've done many interviews with Nani, for example.
Dude, I love you, man.
Yeah, so
the
I never look at it from that entire thing. And I genuinely feel that you should respect art in whatever form it is. It should not be about Bollywood or even Bengali cinema. I think it's outstanding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even Punjabi cinema is doing very well right now. Punjabi cinema is outstanding. What was the first reaction when Mahesh Babu said Bollywood can't afford him?
Well, we're used to Mahesh sir's humor. So a lot of the things that were said at that trailer launch were said in slight jest with a slight bit of importance. I think it was the moment you take something and turn it into a headline. Like the same thing that happened with my goldfish thing. मतलब मैंने उसको sweetly बोला है. Next thing I know, it's a headline. और वो अक्षय सर से पूछा गया कि what do you think ये goldfish बोला गया and all this. It's like the moment you give something too much importance, it turns into something it's not.
Someone sent me that video on my WhatsApp.
Wow.
You have to see. Okay, how do you react to these YouTube comments on Major trailer? This is Prajakta Desai. When I read about this story, I was in tears. Always wish that someone should make a movie, and now after watching this trailer, I'm in tears again. Adivi Sesh is the perfect casting for this role. Can't wait. Prajakta Desai.
I think I'm thankful that a lot of the people who saw it last night felt that we'd done justice to Major Sandeep's story. So, Prajakta Desai?
Ji.
Prajakta Desai, you come to one of our early screenings and I guarantee you're going to feel the same.
Great, goldfish. Viraj Samrat. Confidence. What a lovely trailer, inspiring story. Hope we also get to see Mahesh Garu in a cameo in this film.
No, he's not. But I guarantee you, in all of South India, when his name pops up as producer, it's going to be cheers.
I think he's done excellently well in the rapid fire. So you guys,
Feeling
you
the
have
heat.
to literally, you should.
The
actually.
speaker to mera hai.
Come to Saiee now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna up my game.
All right, so rapid fire with Saiee. When you were offered the role, what was your first thought?
I have to do it.
I have to do it. Okay.
I have to do it, yeah.
Did you speak to Salman sir?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
You have to do it.
Okay. Why do you think soldiers पे लड़कियां फिदा हो जाती हैं?
I think just because of their demeanor and their love for something. It's so passionate. You can see passion, and I think that's really rare, especially with boys nowadays.
The commitment that they have.
Yeah. Yeah, most boys are commitment phobic, so I think that's maybe the reason.
That is why you're single.
Yeah, that's why I'm single. No. I'm just single because I'm focusing on work.
Single.
What is that one quality of Sandeep you wish to see in your partner as well?
Courage. I think the courage to stand up when wrong is happening. That's very important to me.
Wait, he doesn't have that?
What do you
I
think?
don't have a...
Oh.
What do you think is Sesh's best quality as a co-star?
The fact that he's always like, especially like, I think around me at least, he's always like happy and very like, okay, let's do this.
Really?
Yeah. And when everyone says he's mean, I'm just like,
He's not mean, but he's...
You know,
Please continue.
what is going on?
No, but he's really sweet on set, and then everyone's like, oh my god, Sesh is coming, oh my god, Sesh is coming. And I'm like, yeah, Sesh is coming. He's so sweet.
So are you like a disciplinarian or something?
He's
ये
serious
उनका
about
rapid
his,
fire है ना?
he's serious about his work.
Torture star!
But I think I make everyone around me like me. I just rub off on everyone, so it's fine.
By the way, I don't know if I ever got the chance to answer that. I don't believe in titles. I just wanted you to
You don't believe
in titles.
Titles. Yeah, that's what you mentioned. Like,
Yeah.
Thrilling star as well. You don't like the
torture star.
torture star. Okay. Which one Indian war film you wish you were a part of?
I think once I watched Major, I would have thought I wanted to be a part of Major, so now I'm already part of it. So I got my dream. Yeah.
She's doing well.
I know.
I'm giving her the speaker, man.
Okay, as an actor, one advantage and one disadvantage of being daughter of a big director.
I think in advantages, I'm always learning, even at home, even on the dinner table. I'm getting so much like knowledge about what I am doing, and I'm getting to know what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. So I think that's a constant learning process that I'm really happy about. And a bad thing is people will just assume you get things easy. Easier, yes, not too easy.
Not bad at all. You know, it seemed I've given her the questions beforehand and she's
I know.
She's
now.
out of
किया गया ये सब planned
Seems like-
सब adjusted.
but it's not the
Scripted.
it's not the case.
I know I'm your favorite, it's okay.
A role played by any actress you think was the bravest?
Bravest.
Bravest.
I think Neerja Sonam Kapoor was amazing.
Fantastic
Nice.
choice.
Nice. If you could spend a day with any celebrity to learn about their craft, who would that be?
Should I just like be nice to you?
Sure.
Yeah, Sesh. Because he has so many crafts, I'll learn everything and come back in a day.
Can
Yes,
I
way too
also
many.
answer?
Ji.
Sridevi ji.
Wow.
I think if she's in the top 3 actors I've ever seen worldwide, and I would have loved when she did Kshanak, which is a great classic Telugu film, or when she did Chalbaz, and even English. That nuance, I would love to study it. I would love to understand how she did what she did.
And you are a film student. You really are very...
I'm a film dropout. I was majoring in cinema at San Francisco
You're
State.
majoring in cinema?
I was majoring in cinema. I plugged it in. Yeah, nice. At San Francisco State University, and in the end of my third year, I dropped out of college.
But still, like, even Shah Rukh Khan dropped out of MCRC, but you can never take out that
As
he's
did
a mass
Spielberg.
communications. Yeah, so that's okay. That's okay. You can be a student even if you don't have a degree for that, for example. Okay, which celebrity you'd go to for following and advice on relationships?
On relationships, my dad.
Dance lessons?
Dance lessons. If I would be blessed enough, Hrithik Roshan. Yeah.
Okay, for fitness and diet tips?
Salman sir.
So I think she has done really well. Sobhita, you have your
I
task.
got like 5 fist bumps.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't call people torturers.
It's my love for you.
All right, so rapid fire with Sobhita. But I think she, you should see when she will shine.
Arey.
She is very truthful. That's her USP.
I thought that's her shortcoming.
That's it. I think that is a USP. And rapid fire, the truth element is important. What, according to you, is the most difficult thing about shooting for war films?
The fact that whether they say action or cut, you have to. I felt like I had to stay in that moment because I wanted to honor the experience, especially like the part I'm playing, Pramoda, is based on a real person. They've changed the gender, but to know that they've gone through this experience, I was like, no, I have to be absolutely truthful and no pretense. So that can be emotionally taxing because you're putting yourself out there.
And you tend to give a lot to your characters. You tend
Yeah,
to,
there is. I believe there must be no separation between the dance and the dancer.
Good start.
Dude.
Very good start.
Damn it.
Good start.
Can we just like
Wait,
cut the
shouldn't
speaker
she
into three
be
parts?
the one doing ad
Good
writing or
start.
whatever?
Yeah. This is
The dance
no
and the
separation.
dance.
Good start. Good line. Okay, if all our
सब plan
soldiers,
किया गया है.
Scripted.
If
Stage
all-
was the only one who wasn't told.
Ji, if all our soldiers on border are listening to you for next 15 seconds, what would you tell them?
आप हैं इसीलिए हम हैं, you know. You are a source of inspiration, not just for the bravery they show, like physically and but also for their families. I think it's a matter of immense pride. Like if my child went into the defense forces, I'd be very proud.
What is that one thing about India you wish you could change?
There are a few, but something very simple I'd like to say, I think, is our basic cleanliness on the streets. No, I think it matters because, you know, it's like how some people go to amazing places, okay, in India. यार वो जगह इतनी सुंदर थी ना, इंडिया लग ही नहीं रहा है. I'm like, ऐसा क्यों है? मतलब there are larger issues one can change, one must change. I would love to speak about how our education curriculum must be altered. I have so many thoughts, but it's a rapid fire, so I'll mention something that will drill through.
Can she lose because she's giving witty but long answers?
No, that's nothing up. See, my perspective is it's rapid fire with perspective. So
If only one thing, then it would be the education curriculum of students. But that's a very intense. I have to get deeper, so I'll stick to cleanliness.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay,
on
I
the
don't know if I
streets.
can say this or not. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
All right, okay. One quality of Saiee and Adi and Sesh that may qualify them to be your best buddies.
With Saiee, I love that, you know, like she's so young and yet there is this willingness to learn, belong, not from a place of, there's a curiosity in her, which is not, she's not cynical, she's not jaded. And I find that very beautiful and that's inspiring to me, you know. And she dubbed for
अच्छा
her...
यार, speaker दे दो.
Wait now. No, I'm speaking honestly. Like, and like she dubbed her own lines, obviously in Hindi, but also in Telugu. And if something's not your native tongue, then it's obviously difficult. But she gave it her all and she did it, you know. So I respect that. And with Sesh, he's really like actually been like family. And to be family means to also fight. And you know, so I've known him for over 5 years. And his goodness demands that you care for him and respect him. I think that's beautiful.
Damn it. Okay.
You know, there's no pause, no stuttering.
दिल से ऐसे आ गया बाहर.
Okay, I'm calling auntie after this. So
If you can sum up Zoya Akhtar in one word,
Effervescent.
what do you consider as the biggest turning point in your career, apart from Major?
It was just before my career. I went backpacking for about a year. And that completely changed my inner landscape as a human being. Those backpacking days, it was like solo trips, me, a small backpack, no phone, just a map. It was insane. Now when I think back, I'm like, what was I thinking? But it was very, very, very life-altering. And uske baad, whether I would be a cobbler or an actor or a chef, whatever I would do, I know for a fact that my feet would be firm on the ground and my head in the clouds. That set me right.
Okay,
Okay, your expressions are showing that you're more impressed.
I'm impressed with everyone. I've still not made up my
Cut the speaker
mind.
into 3 parts and just be like, okay.
Okay.
remove
Teen
both,
speaker
you can
is
have
on.
No,
One person can
we'll
get
come to that.
charger.
If you were to star in a biopic, whose biopic would you wish to do?
Geeta Dutt.
Wow.
I am obsessed with her. And I mean, I don't know if I look like her, but like her songs are like a balm.
You know, and what a story. I read the Guru Dutt book recently by Yasser, and I think he has been very fair to Geeta ji, because क्या होता है वो दो जब लोग होते हैं उसमें people tend to take sides. But I think you read the book?
No, I haven't. Yasser Usman.
Yeah. It's on Guru Dutt. I think it's a fantastic book. And Geeta Dutt she was a star. She was the star. The
Her
star
life
who
is-
did not get her due.
Yeah, in the shadows. And I'm very curious about people who weren't the biggest, loudest thing. One step behind.
If you were to gift a t-shirt to falling people with a quote written on them, what would you write on falling people's t-shirt?
Oh my God, Emraan Hashmi. I've done 2 films with him. 2 projects actually. What would the quote be? Shit, I'm getting pressured. Huh. Jaan dunga desh nahi. Really?
Everywhere, just give it.
Everyone, all t-shirts. Please promote our film, Emraan. I love
Yes,
you.
you've done Bard of Blood, so I think...
Bard of Blood and The Body. Yeah, he's the funniest co-actor I've ever worked with. He's hilarious.
Right, he-
Yeah.
Okay, Mahesh Babu.
Classy and sassy.
Classy and sassy, with great skin.
Great skin, yeah.
All right, so I think it's really tough to decide because I think all three of you've done excellently well. मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा सा जो हल्का सा जो एनवेलप पुश किया है वो मुझे लगता है कि आई थिंक सेश ने किया है. मुझे ऐसा लगता है स्लाइट जो एक pushing the envelope है ना.
Just because you like him more.
नहीं.
Yeah.
You said that I like you very much, so ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I'm just being fair.
I'll keep the charger.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है. So अगर आप
I feel like
if you can, Sobhita can please give it to.
I'd like to thank my family.
Can we clap for you?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give fine
Can you
name
also
tag.
I'd like to thank my agent. And nobody come and slap me on stage.
So thank you very much and all the best
Thank you.
wishes for the
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.